movie buffs. Welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of my favorite Anthony Hopkins movies. This is my Anthony Hopkins collection. I do believe there's 21 films here. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at one of my favorite actors. He's done some fantastic roles over his career. And I wish I had more Anthony Hopkins in my collection, but this is what I got. So let's go ahead and dive in. And I would say his most iconic role, Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. This is definitely one of my favorite suspense thrillers of all times. This is worthy of at least a Blu-ray upgrade, but I still got it on DVD. I do believe a 4K is available for this as well. But again, Silence of the Lambs. I love Silence of the Lambs. Anthony Hopkins was just killer in the role. Literally killer. Next up we have Red Dragon. Again, Hopkins come back as Hannibal Lecter. I think this is my favorite in the series. I might even like this one more than Silence of the Lambs. I really do dig these Hannibal Lecter movies. All of them, actually. Even the ones that don't star Anthony Hopkins, I like those as well. And again, Hannibal. Again, Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins doing Hannibal Lecter one more time. This one is a banger right here. You got Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling in Fracture. This was a hell of a movie right here. Man, this is a really good movie. Hopkins damn near got away with murder in this one. Almost, but he didn't. And this is, you know what, when I said Silence of the Lambs is my favorite Hopkins role, I gotta take that back. Out of all the movies with Hopkins, this is the one that I rewatched the most. And this is my favorite, starring Brad Pitt and just a host of others. We got Meet Joe Black. What a phenomenal movie this is, man. Such a touching and a sad but powerful ending. This movie is an absolute masterpiece. It's got a nice long runtime, but this is one of the few movies, in my opinion, that really deserved that long runtime because it's all story from start to stop. This is all story. It's a fantastic movie. Brad Pitt and Hopkins gave performances of a lifetime in this movie. If you haven't seen or owned Meet Joe Black, I really want you to go out and watch or pick up a copy of Meet Joe Black. Really good movie. We also have Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is a really good movie. I enjoyed this one. And then we also have Hopkins, a small role, but an important role to the story of Thor, Odin. There's really no Thor without Odin, his dad. So we got him in all three of these Thor movies. I think there's four Thor movies. He's in the first three. You got Thor Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok, the best Thor movie of all. So yeah, Anthony Hopkins had a small part. Again, he played Odin. Odin is important, but not as important as Thor in the Thor stories. Next up, we have Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins in The Mask of Zorro. Fantastic movie. A movie that really stands up. That really stands the test of time. You can watch this movie right now and really enjoy it and get a kick out of it. Antonio Banderas did a great job, and so did Hopkins. Great movie. This one right here, you got Morgan Freeman, Anthony Hopkins, Djimon Hounsou, I always jack his name up, and Matthew McConaughey. An absolutely unforgettable movie. Steven Spielberg's The Amistad. What a fantastic movie. This is one of those movies where it'll anger you, it'll make you cry, it's uplifting at times. Believe it or not, there's moments in this movie there's moments in this movie that is uplifting. Very few, but it's just a fantastic movie. Well acted, well written, great story. Again, it's a slave movie, so it's a little touchy depending on the audience. He had a small role in this one too, Transformers: The Last Night. Let's see. Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, Mary Louise Parker, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Anthony Hopkins, and Helen Mirren. Red 2. This one is a pretty decent supernatural a supernatural thriller. This it's decent. It's not the best, but it's decent. The Writ. Again, this is a decent movie. It's not groundbreaking when it comes to like demonic possessions, but it's good enough. This one right here. Josh Duhamel, Al Pacino, and Anthony Hopkins in Misconduct. Again, let's see here. Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins in The Wolfman. Now, this movie, when it first came out, you know, people kind of panned it a little bit, but it's decent. It's watchable. It's a pretty watchable flick. You know what I'm saying? It's not the best Wolfman movie ever created, but it was good enough. It was a solid watch, in my opinion. Here's one right here. This one is called Solace. Solace. Not really my favorite Hopkins movie. It's like a B movie, but it's all right. It's all right. Here's one that I really enjoyed. I really like this one. Listen to this cast. Sean Penn, Jude Law, Kate Winslet, James Gandolfini, Mark Ruffalo, Patricia Clarkson, Anthony Hopkins, All the King's Men. Fantastic movie right here. A lot of star power, but the star power wasn't overpowering. Some movies suffer from too much star power. This one was right on the nose. Another banger right here. Brad Pitt and him and Hopkins return. Remember, they did Joe Black together. Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, and Aidan Quinn. Legends of the Fall. Absolutely banging, fantastic movie. Great story. Good acting. This is a fantastic flick. This is a must watch. A must watch. And we got Anthony Hopkins in here with Sean Connery and a host of others. A Bridge Too Far. And we got Russell Crowe in Noah. Anthony Hopkins was in this one, of course. So that's everything Anthony Hopkins in my collection. That's everything I got with Anthony Hopkins. I do need to get a little bit more Hopkins. There's tons more out there to get. But these are the 21 that I have starring Anthony Hopkins, who is just a legend, a Hollywood legend. Was part of a lot of great movies. Just fantastic actor. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And the next one looked like Charlize Theron. She'll be the first female I did in this series. Again, guys, I know I'm going down the list. And like I said before, Hollywood is male dominated. It has been for a long time. We're starting to see the tide turn a little bit. So you'll start seeing a lot more female-led movies. But yeah, so it's taken a while to get down to the female-led, well, not female-led movies, but just my female filmographies because it's just so many more males. But yeah, Charlize Theron is next. I see you on that one.